Everybody, it's President Ray Biddle. Got some more questions to answer, and let's get to it. Pumpkin Ska 66 asks, what are good ways to get rid of writer's block? We're just going to go with that one for now. Okay, I honestly believe writer's block is a myth. If you have a story in your head, you know all the parts. It's just a matter of getting them out of your head, getting them on the paper, and then putting them into a screenplay. Outlining, I mentioned that in the first show. Outlining is a really good way to avoid this because you can always add and take away. And if you take some time for preparation, you'll be better off in the long run, which again will cut down on writer's block. The more you're ready to have everything go, flow, do what it has to do, the better off you'll be. If you have any other specific questions involving writer's block, or you're in it but you can't get out of it, ask them and I'll help in further episodes. It's just try not to get into the mindset. It's also a crutch. Try not to be thinking that writer's block affects every writer. It shouldn't, and you'll be okay. You just have to get everything on paper before you actually type up the script. I hope that was helpful. Continuing on with Pumpkin Ska 66. Sometimes I'm on a writing streak and I can get a lot done, and then it just stops, and I can't think of anything for a week. What are good ways to get your brain juices flowing again? Again, it's outlining. The more that you have before you actually compile your script, the better off you'll be. Free writing. Sometimes I would tell people to move on to a new project. Don't do this where you start writing 14 projects. Never have more than 2, possibly 3 going, and that comes down with how you feel comfortable as a writer. You're going to always come up with ideas, and sometimes when you free write, you'll have 2 scripts, but then you can merge them together, and you'll be better off in the long run too. So, again, somebody mentioned in here about listening to music. If that gets you feeling some kind of comfortable mojo going, then yeah, go with that. Whatever works for you. Remember, writing's an individual thing. What may work for me might not work for you. So you'll get through it. You just have to remember to get things on paper, keep going, don't stop writing. Taking a week off between writing sessions, you got to get your brain back into the mode of writing and thinking as a writer. But you stay away from that, you'll be okay. The Mighty Seamus asks, do you think current events should be used in scripts? For example, I'm writing a script where the main conflict is caused by a failing economy. Are you for or against things like this? You write about what you know. You guys are going to hear that a lot when I'm doing these little episodes. So if you know about economy and how it rises and falls and how you can actually turn that into a main conflict, use it. But never just go with something current just to use it. Sometimes you can get away with a name and a joke or things like that. But if it works for you, use it. If you're struggling with it when you're writing the script, then it's not going to be helpful and you should probably scrap it. But it's your script, it's your idea. If you absolutely have to do it, just keep plugging away until you'll get through, and then you'll fine-tune it later. Handed Films asks, can you explain how to keep your friends serious when making a movie? One of my friends just doesn't care and doesn't try, but all the rest of my friends do. I want to find a way to have him in the movie without him ruin it. Thanks. Red-Handed Films, let's do it this way. This is my 3rd attempt on this one, and I thought of something really a lot better. Have your friend watch this. Okay. Hi, friend of Red-Handed Films. My name is Ray, and I am a filmmaker, just like your friend is. And he'd really appreciate it if you would take things a little bit more seriously when they're making a film. He wants you to be a part of it, and he cares about about your feelings enough that he asks someone to help him with this. All I ask is that you listen to your friend and help him do a good job, do the best job he can. If you don't want to be a part of the film, when he asks you, just say no. His feelings won't be hurt. But you got to take his work a little bit more serious and help him. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Also, for the rest of you, when you're dealing with someone that's not just into the project, you got to just get them out of there. Because you have limited time resources usually, and somebody's usually spending some kind of money. None of us do a film completely for free. There's a tape involved, there's electricity costs, things like that. So just remember, if you, to only bring people to your projects that really care and really want to be a part of it. Because if they don't, it's better that you don't have them. Even if you have to double up on an actor and have them play two parts, or double up on an actress, yeah. So, anyway, Red-Handed Films, I hope this was helpful. Apocalypse Wow asked, what legal issues do you have to go through to get your film into a film festival? Permits to use certain locations, release forms, music release forms. Exactly. Just all your standard paperwork, and there shouldn't... Sometimes, if you're thinking about a festival, you can always check them out, find out what they require. But as for legal things, if you're doing everything you're supposed to with pre-production for your film, a lot of festivals are going to want a copy of every actor's release form, locations, and things like that. Just do your due diligence and you'll be fine. You guys are very talented, and I know that sometimes it's good to hear it, so you just double think or ask the question a couple of times. But anyway, just make sure you're doing your due diligence. Anybody that appears in your film has to sign something. If they want to change names, fine. Just make sure that they give you some kind of signature with their real name and their stage name, and that's covered. Location, if you're shooting on private property, you don't need to worry about that too much. Just if you're using someone else's property, always have them sign something. That way it can't come back to bite you on the rear end later. Click 123 has a couple of questions. I'm going to break them down individually. I think it'll be a little bit easier, so hang in there. Okay, how do I prepare for a live show? Well, this one obviously isn't live. My other show, the Ray Live show I do, I usually try to come up with my topics about 5 days in advance and give you guys, those that come and see me, an idea of what I'm going to do, so you can have some questions, because that helps. And then if I'm going to have an interview, I try to make sure that the person I'm interviewing either knows what's going on, has directions to the house, things like that. So that takes that. Then I basically just, if I need to research my topic, I do a little internet research and make my notes, and I keep everything in a notebook, wherever it got to, and take it one thing at a time. As you can tell, I don't rehearse stuff. It would probably be better if I did, but it's hard to rehearse for a live show, and you never know what's going to come out of my mouth anyway. So it's just my style. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's wrong. It seems to be working, and I enjoy it. Click 123 also asks, how do I view improvisation? Depends on the project, and it depends on who you're working with. If you have someone that's skilled in improv, let them go. Have fun with it. Improv for me is fun to do. I don't really know a lot about acting. I'm taking some classes and I'm getting better, but it's one of those things where it just has to come to the person. If you have a friend that's really quick-witted, that might work. If your friend's not so quick-witted and but a good actor, don't let them do improv, because I think they'll suffer. But again, it's a skill. So the more they work at it, the better they'll get. See what else should it only be done after you have a completed final take of the shot? Again, that depends on your project. On my stuff, we never have the same scene twice. And again, when we're doing coverage and things like that, we have stuff to pick from, so we can have the best possible scene when we do put it as a finished piece. Some tips for improvisation: let the actors work off each other. Don't have one person trying to improv by themselves, unless you know somebody that's really skilled in improv. I don't see it as an issue either way, being good or bad. It just depends. A lot of these things are hit and miss and experimental. So you just try one thing. If it doesn't work, try it again. But for the most part, I don't think any of us are really working with Robin Williams right now, and I consider him the master of improv. So you try it, see how it works. If you like it, you keep going. If not, make some changes, try it again. But don't give up on it. And I'd never say, oh, improv is awful. There's a reason we use a script, though. So if your actors bring something better to the project than what's originally on the page, you can always use it. Because, again, in the long run, the project's the most important thing. Thanks everybody for all your questions. Keep them up. I like doing this a lot. It's, you know, anybody out there that wants to do the Mogul Spotlight, just get me the information. All right, I'm still up for that. Anything you ever have to ask, you can always email me, biddleproductions@comcast.net. I'm always available to help. So anytime you get stuck and you don't want to ask a question that's going to be put up here, you can always email me stuff and I'll always respond. And sometimes it might take a little bit. But anyway, it's been a blast. I love doing this, and I'll see you guys with episodes to be put up here.